So I haven't started this car in well over a month. So here's to hoping that everything goes okay. So as you can see, the 240's become a bit of a storage unit. It started up okay, like no problems, better than okay, just fine. I'm just letting it warm up, get some of those fluids moving about because it's been over a month, and I just think it'd probably be good to just let it warm up and do its thing right now. But welcome to today's video. So if you saw my last video, you'll know that I mentioned that I had two things kind of coming up. One, the car's first drift event, because the car is officially ready. It's tuned, it's dialed in, it rips. I just need to see how well it rips on track, of course. And the second thing being I acquired a body kit. A body kit I didn't really want, but the deal was so good that I thought, you know what, it's not bad for getting a body kit on the car. So that's what we're gonna be working on today. Today I'm gonna be revealing the $100 body kit that I sourced from Facebook Marketplace. Full matching fiberglass body kit. I think I lucked out. I don't know. I think it was pretty cool. $100 for a full kit. And the damage, it is damaged. Not to the worst extent. I'll let you guys form your opinions on that. But I'm going to go get it. We're going to have to do some work on filing it down, making some things fit. Yeah, we're going to pretty much get this kit on the 240 and properly mounted. It is time to show you that for this 240SX for $100, I got a BN Sports replica fiberglass body kit. So take it in, front bumper, side skirts, left and right, and rear bumper. The entire kit, as you can see, you already see some of the damage right here. It's not a perfect kit. Granted, it was $100, but for $100 for a, I've seen worse condition fiberglass body cards selling for more, not being complete sets and all. So just seeing that it was complete and intact for $100, I was like, I have to do it. Actually, I don't even think it was $100. I think it might have been like 200 or 250, and I might have talked them down to 100. I know in the end I ended up paying $100 for this entire fiberglass body kit. You might hear that term or that word $100 today because I'm going to be emphasizing it, but you know what? It's actually cool to see that I can show you some of the areas where it's a little bit, we've got some light coming through. Fiberglass is definitely thinned out in a couple of areas. It's going to need some work. It's going to need some work, but that's expected with a $100 body kit. Side skirts are not bad. Only right here. Yeah. So right here, it started, not started, it's just, it was thinning out. This was on a very, very low 240SX. And so, I could tell that he was dragging a lot. Like I think right here, the fiberglass is pretty thin in that corner. And as far as the rear bumper, he was dragging like crazy over here. So that entire corner's gone. And this entire corner's gone. I'm going to have a time trying to replace that. But everything else is pretty solid. It's starting to crack there, and it is cracked here. I can see there's already some attempted fiberglass work. So personally, I've never done any fiberglass work, but I've also never built a motor. I've never boosted a motor. I've never properly drifted a 240SX. There's a lot of nevers here, but that's not stopping me from trying to find out what it's about. So one of these days or one of these weeks or one of these months, I'm going to be doing the fiberglass work, the body work, as well as the body work on the car because we are nearing the time for it to receive either paint or wrap. Still completely undecided on which, and I'm still completely undecided on the color or colors. But something I want to show you guys real quick. I have no idea how to attach a fiberglass body kit to a car. I try to get some tips as well as bring out some of my own like creative thoughts, this and that. So for the rear bumper, I cut out some angle. I don't want to call it angle iron because it's like steel, but you know, some metal angle 90 pieces that I got from Home Depot. You know, I have them duct tape, you know, to protect the fiberglass from when the bumper sits on it. But pretty much I just not screwed those in, I bolted those in with some hardware to the existing crash bar. And now with these 1, 2, 3, 4 pieces in place, the fiberglass body kit, the rear bumper, just sits right on here. I kind of want to utilize these existing bracket holes to, you know, maybe drill out the holes on the fiberglass kit and add the bracket here, or maybe just drill out 1 or 2 holes and just zip tie it or bolt it up there. But as far as in the wheel well, I'm not too sure. I'm probably going to have to utilize, you know, the metal portions of the rear wheel well to zip tie it or, you know, fasten it somehow. But as to create a shelf, I use these angle iron pieces to create that 90-degree little platform for the bumper to sit on. And so far, it makes that line on the rear so good, so good. I hate seeing a saggy line, but honestly, it came out looking almost perfect. So I can't wait to show you guys that. And on the front end, I actually got this idea from, I think it was Randy Trung. I think it was one of his videos or one of his buddies doing it, but same thing. This is that 90-degree angle metal piece that I use for the rear bumper, but this one's just one long piece that I cut the edges so the points weren't so high and it wasn't lifting the bumper, you know, above the with the pop-up covers. But essentially, this sits here. It bolts in with the screws. Right now, there's no screws, but it essentially acts like a little point to hang the bumper, kind of replicating the OEM design. So don't hate me on this if this is super jank, but I have literally 3M Velcro strips that I have attached to my side skirts, and I have them attached all the way over here to the side of my 240. Right here is one, there it is, and then right here is the other. And it does a good job at holding it up, but it doesn't do a good job at when it experiences like pressure or tweaking from like opening the door or if you lightly kick it. So I want to obviously use the side skirts because I don't want to, or not use the side skirts, use the Velcro strips because I don't want to drill into the car, but also hopefully be able to, you know, give it some strength by using the back of the wheel well or the back of the fender over here to secure it. So front bumper honestly doesn't need much filing work from what I remember, just, you know, the fitment on like getting it mounted and stuff like that. So I'm going to start with the side skirts and then move on to the rear bumper. So woohoo, ear protection. All right, so side skirts are Velcroed on, only securing from the front part here. Oh, this one just came off. That's unfortunate. What happened there? Probably the tension from the door. The door does scrape on the bottom of the side skirt, so fitment issue, but, you know, hopefully that's not terrible. And I'm just hoping to, you know, zip tie them or use some type of hardware to secure them around the, you know, edges of the wheel wells. But overall, looking pretty good. That one freaking just came undone. Oh! So obviously, the Velcro strips aren't the best at holding it in just by itself, but I'm really hoping that with it being secured from the back, because there's a lot of tension that the door puts on the bottom, that it makes it want to, like, I don't even know. But other side is a lot better. Still holding on, as you can see. So same thing, one Velcro strip, one Velcro strip. Hopefully we can utilize the wheel wells for a more long-term mounting solution. So I've got the holes drilled out and lined up for the body and the side skirts. I'm hoping that's going to add some good stability now, or rigidity really. But I've got some excess material that really isn't needed on the back of these skirts. So I'm going to trim that up, throw them on, and show you how they fit. It is starting to get a little dark out now, so I feel like I'm running out of time. So I'm going to do these, and if I can do the front or the rear bumper, that'd be cool. We'll see how that goes, but if not, I'll continue that another day. So I just went ahead and did the trimming off camera, and now I'm back here throwing them back on with some more zip ties. Pretty solid. Not too bad. Of course, the fitment, you know, is like what you might expect from a replica body kit. All right, let's go zip tie on the other side. It's still not gripping on the quick release strips like I want it to. This side definitely is not as pretty as the other side. But that's what's to be expected from a $100 fiberglass body kit. All right, we are back. Day 2. Yesterday, I got the side skirts on, zip tied. Obviously, the quick strips aren't the move. On the passenger side, they're not holding at all. It just seems like they failed as a part. Driver's side is still good, but I can't, you know, count on them for really lasting too much longer. I'm going to start today with trying to work the front bumper on. You know, when I threw it on the first time, the fitment was like a bit better, but it seems like I may have been tripping. But there's a huge gap between the fenders and the bumper here. So I'm going to see what I can do to see if I can stretch these lower brackets by any chance. And I'm going to drill some holes through here and use the existing holes on the fender to just zip tie them. Maybe like 2 zip ties there and 2 zip ties around the wheel well. Enough talking, I'm gonna jump into it. Before taking the bumper off, I made sure to use a Sharpie to mark the holes of where I was going to drill on the fiberglass bumper. Wow, this is some really shitty fiberglass. I could just like tell. I mean, it's literally lifting right here. I don't know if that was a repair job or how the kit came, but all right, those are lined up and drilled. I need to drill holes on the fender wells and then throw this on and draw more. Oh, you know what? The Sharpie's not deep enough. I need to get my angle. All right. Let's hope that did it. All right. I'm gonna throw it on and zip tie it on. Some solid zip ties right there. Onto the other side. I'm probably about to be so overexposed. There we go. Go through one here, pull it out, feed it through. Yes. No. Yes. No, it's backwards. That sucks. Yes. All right. It's on there pretty. I'd say it's on there pretty good now. All right, now for the rear bumper. All right, the rear bumper is going to be a little tricky because it doesn't like to stay in place on either sides because both flaps that wrap around are cracking. So we'll see. Hopefully we can get some accurately drilled holes. So I don't know if it's going to be dangerous of me to not have it secured anywhere else around the back other than around the wheel wells. So, you know, that's what the plan is for now, at least. Okay. I can barely grab this. This is going to be tough. See, it feels like mad sturdy, you know? All right, no regrets. I wish I had someone to help me take rolling videos of this because I'm gonna want to see this thing driving. I'm not Southern. That's one side. All right, guys, so I'm done. It's not the best job. You guys can clown me in the comments if you want, but you know, I've got it on more secured and more comfortably now to the point where I'm gonna leave it like that. I don't know how I'm gonna get the car down. We're gonna see how that's gonna go, but I'm gonna get the wheels on, get the car on the floor, and give you guys a solid walk around. Plenty of zip ties all around the car. Hopefully it's enough to keep the bumpers from blowing off in the wind and such, but you know, we won't really know about that until our first drift event. And so, yeah, you know, along with that, I would like to say that I do plan to take the car in its as-is state to its first drift event. I really don't see myself getting the car painted or wrapped before then, which is okay with me because I kind of want to, you know, get some before and after moments with the car drifting and how it looks. So yeah, gonna throw the wheels on and show you what we're working with. Zip ties here, and way in there if you can even see that. Few zip ties in the back. I'm not too confident about this because it's a little cracked and ripped here, so I feel like this is a weak point. And you know, 3 zip ties in the back, and that's exactly how it's looking on the other side as well. Perfectly symmetrical. Let's get that. There we go, so you guys can see a bit better. But you know, car's looking pretty cool, all kitted out and everything. Even though it's super jank, I'm really liking how it's looking. So I'm gonna get the wheels on and hopefully get you guys some videos of the car on the ground. Bucket 240, bucket 240. You gotta love the bucket stages though, you know? If you don't love her at her worst, how are you gonna love her at her best? You know what I mean? Wow, barely. That is like 1/8 of an inch away from the jack. Okay, I'm glad to know that 2x4s will still keep this car able to get off the ground. Congratulations. You've now seen your millionth fiberglass body kit 240. I'm glad I could bring you this honor. She got a bit of a lazy eye. looks pretty good, to be honest. At least I think so, you know? It's cool to see my car kitted up. All right, y'all, so here she is, kitted up, looking a bit better than she did before. Here's a solid walk around. Let me show you guys how we're looking with the body lines. Zip ties honestly did a pretty okay job at keeping things secure. I do have some poke coming out of here and some fiberglass repair I'm gonna need to do, or have someone do. I have no idea. You know, skirts on, not too shabby. Rear bumper, you know, zip ties and such. Lines up, honestly, not the worst. Pretty decent, I would say. I have no idea what replica brand, like who made this. Again, I bought it used off of Facebook Marketplace. That's how that part's looking, you know, that the previous guy shredded. But, you know, not bad for $100. I definitely think I came up. Let's go. Look at that. See? Not bad, you know. I've seen worse condition 240s. This is pretty solid. All right, guys, that is a wrap on today's video. Body kit is on, hella zip ties securing this thing, but it's secure enough to the point where I can drive it. What isn't secure enough are my lug nuts. I just drove down the neighborhood like 2 streets and realized I didn't torque my lugs. I can't believe myself. I can't. Either way, body kit's on the car. I'm liking the way it's looking. If I were to rate it, I'd probably rate it like a 7.2 out of 10. I feel like that's a fair rating. I'm honestly liking the way everything's looking, and you know, considering it's a replica body kit, the lines really line up better than I would have expected. I don't have much familiarity with other replica body kits, so I can't speak on if this is a good rating or a bad rating, but that's my rating and that's what I think it is. Let me know what you guys think in the comments. Clown me on how many zip ties I use, whatever, you know. Just let me know what you guys think, because this is a step that I've been wanting to get crossed off my list for the 240, and it is here. So to those of you who guessed what body kit this was, if you guessed it was a BN Sports body kit, respect to you because you got it. But honestly, I don't think anybody guessed it in the comments. I haven't checked the comments in maybe like a week or two, but from when I saw people were commenting, I don't think anybody guessed it. So bummer. I really thought it would have been guessed. But yeah, let me know what you think. It's super basic. One thing I didn't say is I didn't want this body kit because I don't like this body kit. I know kade-t sells a more durable body kit, but you know, I would have gotten that if it came down to it. But again, the price for this was awesome. But one thing I don't like about the body kit is that the bottom bumper lines, just, they don't match. I mean, it's like you got, let's say, maybe like 1.5 inches of little edge right here, this edging to the bumper. Over here, it's like an inch, maybe 3/4 inch, super skinny. And then in the back, it's like 2 inches. It doesn't match. The body lines don't match. And I shouldn't be picky. I'm not being picky, but that's just the reasons why I don't like it and why I didn't want to get it. But for $100, you can't pass up on that offer, at least to me. I thought so. So, yeah, stay tuned for the next video, because the next video might actually be drifting the car. Like I said in the last video and probably earlier into this video, the car is ready. It's tuned, it's ready, it's finished being built to the extent that I was ready for it to be at its first drift event. Like, it's really like there's nothing left other than body work, paint, wrap, whatever it is. And I'm not jumping into that yet. I really just rather get to driving the damn car. So I need to buy a helmet. I need to buy a neck brace. I probably am going to need to buy some race gloves. And, you know, I would, like I said in the last video, at least an extra spare set of tires, at least 2, maybe an axle or 2. And then I'm gonna go drift the hell out of this car because I've been waiting so long, and I kind of I feel like I might ease into it, but at the same time I just want to feel the car. Don't hold back. But we'll get there when we get there. So if you made it to the end of the video, thank you for watching. You guys rock. I appreciate you guys, you know, so much. So hopefully you guys get to see and support more of this car in 2025 because I really can't wait to hopefully do all the driving I intend to do. I hope 2025 is the year that I drive. Hopefully hopefully I did well with building the motor and such, you know, so a lot of worries, a lot of risks, but a lot of just eagerness to drive the damn car. It's been 4 years, almost 5. Whatever. Thank you for watching. Catch you guys on the next video. Subscribe, like, comment, dislike. Just watch the next one.